Okay, welcome back. Had a little technical difficulty there, but I worked it out. So what I was saying when that wasn't captured at all was because I have lost my other save. I have this my main save. I have this second save, so I've been building this up, and the locations. There is a map that has been created by somebody, and we can look at it and get audio this time. And this shows different starting locations that you have on the map. These three round areas here are the different maps that you can choose to the different locations you can choose to start in. Now, I actually thought that these were three different maps until eventually, when I traveled around this big map, I realized it's the same map. So I felt a little silly, but that's okay. I didn't really lose any sleep over it, but it was funny to realize that. And so you have here, this is the rocky desert starting location in these areas here. Then you have the southern part, which is the grass fields. And then you have the northern forest. That's what this is. And that's the difference. The difference overall is you just have kind of this, I guess, more flat area to build from with less, what do you call it, biomass to get. That's what their description is. This one has plenty of biomass and has mountainous region, so it's difficult to build. So you have to kind of build up, I guess, above it or around. It's not too bad. And then this is where most people have started on the quote-unquote large portion of it. And this map is quite nice because you can actually turn on the resources and on and off, and you can see where all of these different resources are situated. So you can figure out what you want to bring in. So as I am in this location right now, I'm circling the water because I've actually built over the water on top of it. We look here. There's water there. So this entire water section here, I will eventually cover. And here is the new factory that I have been building up. And I built in these resources that are coming up off this ledge. They're actually coming from here. The limestone, the iron, copper, coal. And then there's this iron here is being brought in on the opposite side. If we look at my little base again, it's coming in from this location over here. There's iron, there's coal, there's limestone, and there's copper. So on both sides of this particular factory area, I have a lot of resources that I can bring in. So looking at this map is a good aid to actually figure out where all of your resources are. Now I've just turned on the pure ones right now, so I can turn on normals and you see how the spread is even greater. And where I was going to move before was this area here on my previous map. I was going to centralize here because there's resources that are in the game that are not available yet, but they placed them in the game. You just can't do anything with them. You can harvest them as well, or mine them and store them, which is what I wanted to do. So I had them available to me when I actually could use them. So if I turn off all of the things, all of the resources that are usable in the game, and leave on the ones that are not, again, this being the central location, you can see I have all of the resources that are not usable right now available to me in that area. There's quite a high concentration of this quartz here. So quartz is the only thing that isn't, unless I turn on, no, so there's no quartz. The only quartz available is at a distance, but that's okay. It's easy to belt that stuff in. What I had also done is I had gone, you see there's geysers here. There's actually only 2 at this location, and 1 you cannot put a geothermal generator on for some reason. It just won't let you. It's encroaching for I don't know what. So I did a feedback report for that. But this has 2 geysers, this has 1, and these locations here. So if I zoom out here and I turn off these other resources, it'd be nice to just have 1 click disable. And we can see, you can also create markers here for whatever, and I don't know if I right, I'm not sure what that does, but so what I had done is I had run all around the map in that previous save, and I had connected all of these geysers together, and they're 200 megawatts each. So count them up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what is that? Oh, that's math. And then double. So 2.6 gigawatts or megawatts of power. 2.6 gigawatts, yes. 2,600 megawatts of power to power this new factory that I was going to have at this location right here. I moved it a little bit up out of the way because there's so many trees and everything here, and when you cut them down they end up growing back at some point. So even though I would have cleared them, they would still pop up through my foundations. So I was building out over water here on top of a rock I used as my base height level. These 2 geysers I had actually connected already before, and I was using them to power a SAM ore miner, but I never connected them to anything else. And I was actually pulling my oil out of this location here. I think it was normal. Yeah, so you can see there's 6 oil spots here. So I belted this 2.3 kilometers all the way back to my factory here. And that was quite an effort to put all that stuff together, but it's all gone now. Anyways, so for today, what I'm going to do is, I can't do the geothermal generators yet. I haven't actually unlocked those. So I'm going to be setting up a manufacturing system so that I can create, if we look at this manufacturer, I need to create computers which are used to make supercomputers. So I need, if we look at this, I need to create computers, and then to make this, I'm going to need to make AI limiters as well, and high-speed connectors, which also require a manufacturer. And then we have plastic as a basic resource. So I need an assembler, and so looking at supercomputers, you need a manufacturer for this because it has more than 2 resources, and these manufacturers have 4 inputs. So everything that's 3 or 4 gets these. So I have to have 1 manufacturer for a computer, 1 assembler for an AI limiter, and 1 manufacturer for a high-speed connector. Because here's this. So this takes the quick wire, cable, plastic, etc. They take all the different ingredients, so we have to figure out how to get these ingredients that I have been manufacturing already and set up in these massive lines to be able to bring them down and effectively kind of join them, merge them, split them, whatever, and put them into these different machines. So I'm going to start with the first level because computers need circuit boards, and circuit boards use assemblers. So this needs an assembler, which will need resources. And then you have 3 base resources. And right now I don't have the alternative recipes. Those are all gone because of all the hard drives I had actually gotten in that game. I need to get all hard drives again so that I can unlock that stuff, which I'll get eventually. Because also on this map, if we look at the map again, you can turn on drop pods. These are all of the crash sites with hard drives in them. And I have already gotten this one right next to us now. And you can see there's a few more for me to get. I believe, yeah, there's quite a few actually, and they're not very far away, honestly. And now that I have the jetpack, it's incredibly easy to traverse terrain and get that stuff. But for now, we're going to set up all of these base recipes and all of the machines that I need for it. So let's make a to-do list. I know I need one assembler for this, just computers here. So I need an assembler for circuit boards. And I already know that I'm going to need to make 2 of these because it doesn't make enough. The AI limiters in the assemblers, let's make an assembler here. And then we can look at the recipes. All right. So an AI limiter needs a circuit board. It only needs 1. If I make circuit boards, I get 1. I get 5 per minute. A computer needs 5 circuit boards. So I need, to make 1 computer, I need 5 circuit boards. And then I also need the AI limiter for the supercomputers, which needs 1 circuit board. And I need 2 AI limiters for a supercomputer. So I need 2 circuit boards to be pumped out for that. And I need 5 circuit boards pumped out for the computer alone. So I need at least 2 assemblers going, making circuit boards. So what I'm going to do is 1 assembler will be making too many, and 1 will be making too little. So what I'm going to do is split from 1 to take off, to siphon off boards being made from that, and I'm going to merge it into the second stream so that we can supplement that and hopefully get more circuit boards going. Another effect of having to restart your game is I don't have all of the hundreds and hundreds of power shards I had gotten from collecting all of the slugs. And to give you an idea of how many slugs are actually in the game, what we can do is go back to the map. And when you look at this, you can turn off the drop pods and geysers. You can actually turn on the slugs. There's a lot of slugs. So there is no shortage of getting these power shards to be able to overclock your factory. I might have 10 right now or something, so rather than being able to overclock to keep the number of machines we need to produce things down, I'm going to have to actually create the number of machines I need to produce things at the speed I need to produce them. And it comes down to more of a quantity versus speed in this case. So, all right. So let's start setting this up. All right. So to make circuit boards, we need wire, and we need plastic. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is set up 3 circuit board assemblers. So let's take this assembler down. We'll find out wire is actually on the second level up here. I'm making a lot of wire. Well, there's a lot of these are wire. Then we have down here, we have plastic. A lot of these, let's see, that's rubber, rubber, rubber. And then we have plastic, 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 and plastic. So let's set up, I'm going to need to bring this down from this upper portion. And what I'm going to do is create a stackable belt, conveyor belt system, and bring that down. So let's figure out which ones are copper. Okay, we have screws, cables. Let's see. There we are. So this is copper wire. Copper wire, copper wire, copper wire. Again, I've gone into the quantity so that we have quick wire here. So this is a different system. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 of these copper wires. And I'm just going to set a stackable thing here just to mark the location. And I don't like the way this is coming out. It's kind of coming out over this other manufacturing area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge them all together. I'm going to merge them together, and then what I'm going to do is take them onto one fast belt, bring them down, and I'm going to split them into where I need to split them into. So let's set that up. Alright, so we'll just start with, okay, so I don't need a merger there. So we will add in a merger. No, I'm sorry, we need a, yeah, we need a merger. And our output, which is the green arrow here, is pointing to the left. We want it to point straight ahead. And I'll line it up with this box here. And I don't need one on this one because it can merge into this right here. And I can add this. And I can't jump over, so that's okay. And already I need more edges to walk on. Get another merger, and I'm out of rods. So let's go get some rods. I really like flying in this game. It helps out a lot with the terrain and the rods. Okay, so we're gonna grab. We'll grab a couple of stacks and head back. Okay, we're facing the right way. So you'll notice that you have these green lines that show up in the middle, and that's showing your alignment. And because we're building on platforms, everything snaps together so conveniently. So I know I'm lined up with that splitter, and if I just edge it out, you can see there's sort of a 90-degree angle alignment with this container as well. So I know that I'm lined up in the, with everything. So I'm good there. I'm going to take this away. And this is also wire, so the last bit here. So now what I need, yeah, so I need to do one more merger. There we go. And carefully, without falling, connect all of these up. So what I'm using is Mark III belts to feed this in. And I'm going to use a Mark IV belt coming out. So the difference is these are 270 parts per minute. Actually, I'm going to upgrade this feed belt, the one that's coming along here, as a Mark IV. And I can't afford it. Okay, let's go get it. Okay. So let's upgrade this to a Mark IV. That pushes out 450 resources per minute. So I've got Mark IIIs coming out of the containers, and I've got Mark IVs that are joining everything together. So I have them hotkeyed at the bottom of the screen, so I can just switch conveniently between these belts. All right. So now what we're going to do is bring this out. We're going to have to upgrade this to Mark III belts. Otherwise, they're not going to keep up with production speed. It's really nice because you can, instead of having to remove the belt and add the new version of the belt, you can just highlight over it with the newer belt type selected and then click and it'll upgrade it. Right now, I don't think there's any other upgrade system like that. Like you can't click on a miner and upgrade it from Mark 1 to Mark 2, or I think that's the only other thing that you would change out. There's Mark 1 to Mark 2. These are all Mark 1s. There are Mark 2 versions of these different things, but they are not released yet to early access. Just as there are Mark 5 and 6 belts for faster speeds, not available yet. Jetpack for the win. Okay. So this is cable, which we don't need right now this second. So what we're working on is the assemblers for the circuit boards. So my inventory is just full. I'm going to get rid of some of these steel beams I don't need. And we'll keep a couple. So this is neat. When you can deconstruct something, if it doesn't fit into your inventory, because normally when you deconstruct something, it goes right into your inventory, all the resources, you don't lose anything. It doesn't penalize you for recovering something that you've already built. Some games it actually penalizes you. It doesn't give you any resources back or half the resources back, but you get them all back with this. And if you don't have room in your inventory, now if we had a couple slots, and there's 4 different items here, and if all of them together don't fit, then you'll get a box like this. Because, but if it can fit into your inventory, it just goes right there directly. And if we look now, we still have our space because it's stacked with other items I had already in my inventory. So I know I have copper coming out of there. So I'm going to bring that down in some fashion here. I might have to move some of this stuff. I don't wanna, but I might have to. And I've got this darn truck, which I have no fuel for. Let's go get some fuel so we can get that out of the way. I'm not a big fan of the tractor. I like the truck better performance-wise, but it's much bigger, so sometimes it's a real pain to have to move around. Well, let's set this to wood. Biomass from wood. And we'll not have any space to pick anything up. And I don't need these leaves. Okay, so pick up the wood. And we'll just dump it in here. It'll start feeding out. And go in and start making biofuel. So this will turn this wood into biomass. It'll go into this container, which I use these containers as buffers and for overflow. And in this case, there's no overflow. It just passes right through because there's nothing being backed up and stored. Goes into this constructor and creates biofuel, which then ends up in this container here. Be neat if you could walk on the wire, but you just fall through. So we'll get this tractor, nicknamed Sugar Cube, out of the way, and then we can start bringing down the copper. So what I'm going to do is the plastic's actually straight ahead of us here. So I'm going to bring that forward. I'll link a couple belts together. I'm going to need a lot of plastic. So I'm going to link them all together and bring them out on one belt. I might do 2. There's 5 of them. I have to see what the production is like. Let's put fuel in here and drive it out of the way. Okay. So I'm not sure where the resources are going to come out yet. So what I'm going to do is bring this copper down, because I'm going to have to do that through the stackable belt, conveyor belt, poles. And I'm not sure where I am at here, so let's stack it up and see. I think I got a double on there. Yep. Sometimes you can double create the stackables on top of each other. Like I could just let's see. Now I can. If I do it fast enough, I can actually put one on top of another, so it uses double resources. Not so good. Let's see. Climb the ladder. I don't know if that's lined up properly. Let's test it. It'll do it, but I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to take it over one little snap and bring it up so that I get a perfectly 90-degree output here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we know. And because I didn't leave him there, I have no idea where it was before. Let's hope that that was close enough. That is way off. All right. I think that is where I want to be. Yes, it is. So I'll remove the other ones. Get them out of the way. All right, so I'm not going to connect this belt now, because when I connect it, this the copper spools are going to start coming out, and then every time you remove a belt that has items on it, they go in your inventory, and you just keep gathering all these resources that you actually don't need in your inventory. So I'm going to leave that alone. So I know that I'm going to be coming out of that. Was it the top one? Yes, I'm going to come out of the top one here, and I'm going to need to come down. So I kind of need to create this same kind of spiral system in a way that I have here, that's coming down out of the mountains here. And it would also be nice if I could use other resources on this same spiral belt system. So I'm standing on cable right now, which I'm going to need for some item at some point. So what I will do, if I add this, I'll stack another one on top, and the cable can, for instance, come out of here with a bunch of mergers and go up, whereas this one is going down. So when I add the mergers here, it can all come together and then come down the same belt system. So now I just need to make sure that I have my little loop-de-loop, and I don't know where this is coming out. So this is on this same line here. Okay, so these aren't interfering in alignment. That's good. All right, let's see. I kind of worked this out to be 5 snaps apart. So if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I just check this, it'll come down this way. All right. So I'm just going to use the general Mark. I use Mark 1 belts for just setting things up, and then I convert them because they're cheap. So I know it's coming out here. So I'm going to see, actually, you know what? I'm going to snap the top one because this way I'll know how far down, and these don't work. So that one, that's no good. So it needs to be farther apart. Let's try this instead. Oh man, that's far. Let's try this. So I know I'm going to want this top one to come out, so I just have to try to get the right number here. That will work. So I know this one will come down and match there. I also know that if I add another one on top, I can do the same thing again. But what I'm going to do instead is for other resources in the other areas, I'll just set up another set of these stackable conveyor belt holders, poles, and they're not going to conflict with each other. So now these will come down in the same fashion there. So this is my top one, so I'll know exactly where to snap right. That one won't do it, okay. And when you look at the belt, you can see there's a green arrow telling me which direction that the belt is going to go. And I have gone through that entire giant stack that you've seen in the background, and the whole belt was the wrong way because I started at the wrong end. So yeah, I had to go and remove it. You can't actually flip the direction, which would be really nice and convenient, but that doesn't work. All right, so now I have a choice to go just come out of here now, which I'm going to do that. I'm just going to come straight out. So I know I'll just, that isn't going to interfere, so I'll just put it right here, and 3. So now I'm just going to come out. I'm just going straight here. So what I have is room for other belts that I can lay in here. I can put at least one more belt on top there. So let's yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, because if I put, although this might work here, put another one. No, okay. So that's not gonna come out. So I should move. If I need another belt to come out of there, I can't go down below because it's too low. The only thing I can do is go up. So this is as low as I can go there. Well, what I can do is come down 1. Like this. And that should let me bring one more belt down here. So we'll add another on top. Let's see if we can do this. I think we can do it. Bring that in. All right, good. So I'm not going to use that belt right now, but it is there. I know it fits and works. And so it's ready to go ahead and bring any resources in that we want. And I know these are going to be Mark IV belts, but right now they are just a nice little placeholder for me to get an idea of what the structure is going to be. So these don't conflict with alignments. I'm just checking the alignments of these containers. So this plastic can come out. All right, so I don't have any issue with that. See, that's rubber. I can see it in the background there. And then we have nice blue plastic still going in. It has not filled up the container yet because I think I used, yeah, I've been using that one for actually making stuff by hand. And this is messy as hell. It does work, but I'm going to move that power pole at some point because it just looks bad with the wires going through everything. Cool. All right, so I have a spacing and alignment template here, so because I know this actually works, so all I have to do is figure out what my actual distances are for the next one and repeat it on another area. And I know I have copper wire coming out of here for sure, and it's going to be coming out of the bottom belt, coming out of this one, going around, etc., and coming out here. So I'm going to need to bring the plastic in. So what I'm going to do is set the assemblers up roughly in front of here. So I don't know how many I'm going to need. Looks like I've got a lot of resources. So I can set up 6 assemblers if I really want to. For now, we're just going to set up 2 for circuit boards. Probably I might need 3. I'm probably going to need 3 because I know I'm going to need 2 computer manufacturers. And again, I don't have the alternate recipes. And the alternate recipes are important because not only do they use different resources, for instance, rubber instead of plastic, it also, it takes longer, usually double the time, to produce an alternative resource recipe. However, it lets you, it makes 3 instead of 1, or 5 instead of 2. So you actually get, you double the time, but you get more of the resource out. So by using the power shards, you can overclock that and actually cut that down. So it becomes much more efficient. Also, you don't use the same exact material. So instead of me using plastic for everything, I could swap out and use rubber instead, along with some other different resources that are required, so that I can actually spread out my production resources instead of trying to concentrate everything into one. Whereas I might end up with a bottleneck because I can't produce enough plastic because I'm using too much, which is going to happen here very soon. So we'll set up 3 circuit board manufacturers. So a splitter automatically has 3 outputs, 1 input. So I know I can split this belt, this copper wire belt, 3 times out of 1 splitter. So we'll set up 3 assemblers for that. So we'll just try to set it up in line here. No, wrong one. Rotate it correctly. So let's bring it forward to there. And I'll set 2 of them up next to each other. And what I'll do is set up the splitters ahead of time. And I'll use this as my center point. And and I'm going to double stack the splitters using my little stair method of alignment. So let's set that up. Go into foundations. We'll grab the right stair or left stair. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to actually, we'll put the first splitter down so we know we can align that properly. So this is lining up with the center of that assembler, and I have to give myself enough room for the belts to come in. We'll bring the copper in down below. So if I just bring this down like this, nah, that's no good. How is that gonna affect? No, okay. I'm gonna put this one here. Bring that over. And I think I might this will go in no problem. All right. So I'm going to choose, let's say, the right side of each of these assemblers is going to be where I'm going to plug this splitter in. So, and the right again. So now we need to set up the next splitter. So we will set up my little stair trick, which I'm sure many people use, so I'm not going to try and claim exclusivity on that. And I think I would like to do, yeah. All right, let's see if this lets us, ooh, that might be tough. I don't think we can get the splitter to be that far back, so we'll rotate it a little more. There. This will put the stairs above it. All right, and we'll get our splitter. And fall off the stairs, because everybody loves to do that. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so this line's centered. Is sitting underneath? Yeah, so I don't think that lines up. It does. Oh, wow, did we get that the first time? Oh, that's relief. It's frustrating to have to keep snapping and unsnapping and everything. And aesthetics, these in conveyor poles, because it just looks so much nicer. These don't have any legs on them for some reason. They have legs on all the other machines, but just not these. And these are not stackable right now in any way, shape, or form. They don't snap together, which would also be incredibly convenient. So now what I don't know now is if the belt from here is going to go down into here, and it doesn't. So it's too steep. So it's too high, meaning it actually has to be moved back. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I did, where I placed the first splitter and aligned it, and then aligned the top one. Use it to align the top one. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to bother with the bottom one. I'm just going to put this back, and I'm going to see if I can get. I'll move this back. A little more this time when I'm putting the splitter up, so that I can see if it actually one little notch back will help me with this. So this is lined up, and I'll put it back just one. That's all I can do on this without adding another one to the back side. I'm going to do that right now. So we need to do that, and then this. And you know, yeah. All right, so let's see if this will go down, and it does. So now we know we just have to move this conveyor on the bottom back one notch, so we ride the conveyor belt to nowhere. And undo what we done did. The common theme in this game. All right, and let's try this again. Okay, snapped. So I can look at it from this side, and I can see when I'm snapped in the center. And look. Okay. So we'll go to the left. Excuse me, and the left. And the left again. Now we'll put these back in. And we have a split coming out. And this belt still goes in just fine. Okay. So now we need to have the plastic go into the top portion. So what I'll do is set up a stackable right here. And this will go up into there. So now all we have to do is bring the plastic out, and we'll put it on stackable conveyors, and we'll run that all the way up to here. Okay. So let's set that up. So I need mergers. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one. I'm going to leave this plastic here. You know what, I'm going to merge them all for now, since I have normal production on everything. And I might need to move this power pole. Let's see where these all work. Oh, that's so tight. Yeah. Oh, wow. Can I? Oh, it makes it nice. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So we're going to belt Mark 9s. These need to be upgraded to Mark 9. Mark 9, sorry. Mark 3 belts. I don't know why I think they're Mark 9. Nothing about them is, there's a 9 nowhere in any description or whatever. It's just I made it up. So now we have Mark 9 belts in the game. That's fine. We'll let the developers know about that later. Alright, so we have our belts. We have that alignment and this alignment. Fantastic. There we go. And that's rubber. This is plastic. Okay. And our output this time is going to go this way because we are merging. There we go. Stick that in. Be done with that. This game doesn't have the same number of clicks as League of Legends, but that's okay. There's still a lot going on. And we know we're coming out of here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my alignment here with the stackable. And we need to go too high. And I'm not going to do that right out of the mouth of this. So I'm going to run this down. Actually, I wonder if one of these is in a better alignment. Oh, it is. Interesting. I could merge these. All right. Excuse me for 1 second. And we're back. Okay. If I pull this out of this container, it'll actually line up a little better with this directly, so I won't have to make the belts squirrel around. But for now, we're just going to bring this out and run this up too high. Now we're at the same level. And we'll bring this over to here. Okay. And we'll upgrade these to Mark 9. Actually, you know what? I might want Mark 2 belts. They move 120 resources per minute. Let's see what we would need for this. So this, if we make circuit boards. So we need 6 plastic. I need to feed 30 per minute. And these belts will feed 120. So that is very much plenty of speed for that. Let's set up circuit boards for all of these. There we go. And let's go ahead, we'll upgrade these to Mark II belts. Can I get this from here? Yes. And we'll make this a Mark IV belt all the way around. We know it's the bottom one. And jetpack up, because this is the future. And right there. Now our copper is flying down. We can watch it feed all of the belts here. It's a thing of beauty. And I have to go for the OCD aesthetic now that we finally have everything lined up. Gotta do it. Okay. So that is prepped and ready. Now what I need to do is bring power to these. These power poles. Oh wait, I have been upgraded, so I can actually make this now. I just need to get some quick wire. So the difference between this first power pole you get is it only has 4 connections. If you look under the description, it says can handle up to 4 power lines. So that means that you kind of have to space them out. So what I do is put one of these power poles down, I hook up 2 machines, and then I connect it in line with with the next pole. So the connections in line, like say for instance to the left, that's 1 connection, to the right, that's 1 connection, and then I'm connected to 2 machines, so that's 4. So I keep spreading them out that way. But this Mark II pole lets you do 6 power lines, and the Mark III lets you do 8. So what I'm going to do is do the 6 pole, because I have 3 of these machines, but I need quick wire as an ingredient, which is over here. And we'll just grab a stack, because that's simple. I have too much copper wire in my inventory, so I'm going to load up this machine with this. Oops. And there. And I have plastic I'm not doing anything with right now either, so we'll just... There we go. So I'm going to put this Mark II pole kind of here. Connect the wires. Look at that. And I got a pole right here, which is now maxed out for a 4. That's actually quite nice when you're going to do wires. When you hover, it shows you how many connections it has out of the maximum. So these machines, they're already going. Look at this. All right. So they are making, and you can see our ingredients, our resources are feeding in with no problem right now. And this is a bit of a false indication because I have containers full or mostly full of plastic and copper. So it's a steady feed. This actually doesn't represent the production level of the machines. So once these resources run out, then we'll be able to get a better indication of how our machines are actually functioning. And I haven't gone through and calculated anything, so I've just put out a bunch of stuff, and we'll see what happens. And then this is where overclocking comes in, where I can sort of offset the lack of quantity with speed and still get the same production results. And then mixed with alternative recipes, which I don't have, you can make a lot of things, fudge on a lot of things, and it still works. Okay, so we have the circuit boards. So we need to make AI limiters, and we need to make the circuit boards are for the computers. So the computers themselves are going to have the resources fed in plus the circuit boards. And I'm just running out of space here. I've got these formations here I can't do anything about. I can't cut them down. How much concrete do I have? 106. All right. I'll have to work around it. We can do that. We can be flexible. Ain't no thing. All right. So we need an AI limiter. So one of these, we'll just say this one here on the right will be AI limiter circuit boards. And these two are going to be for computers. And what we'll do is siphon off every other circuit board from this one and feed it into a merger here. So we will merge these all together. So I'm going to set up a splitter here. I'm not going to connect them to the machines yet because they'll start feeding out, and I don't want to do that. So this merger needs an input, or splitter rather needs. We'll pull that out here, I think. Yes. Now we need a merger, and that'll go to that direction, and this one will go forward. The orange arrows are the inputs, and the green arrow is the output. That's the same for all of the machines or systems here. So for instance, when I'm looking at a splitter, you can see I have 3 green arrows, which are the outputs, and 1 orange for the input, versus the merger, which is the opposite. So we'll connect them up all together. I think... No, I don't know. You know, we'll just connect them with Mark 3, not 9 belts for now. And it's going to come out. So I need an assembler here. So the AI splitter, the AI limiter rather, goes to the supercomputers. And I need to be able to create computers for the supercomputer. It all gets fuzzy sometimes. Trying to keep it straight. Ah, yes, that's right. What do I need for the AI limiter? I need circuit boards and quick wire. So there we go. So now what I'm going to do is set it so that I have one input on one side, going to be taking this one, and the other one is going to be a line of quick wire here, which is going to be coming down. So this is where I'm going to have to bring quick wire up from the top up there. And I'm pretty sure I need quick wire for other things too, so this will work out pretty nicely. Smooth copper. It's good. All right. And what to get? I think I'm just going to fly up here. See what I got here. Yeah, this is better. That is the alignment. And I'm going to do... And I'm just not going to have room for those manufacturers in front there. I'm going to have to belt a bit. I think I can get in here no problem. And we'll use Mark 3. I keep wanting to say Mark 9. It really is in my head when I go to say Mark 3. It's really ridiculous. All right, so I guess what we can do is take all of these ingredients, resources, whatever, and I can either belt them around to over here, which I can add more of these platforms for space. For instance, covering this area here. There's plenty of space for that. I can remove those platforms there, the stairs, walkways. Or I can bring it completely over to the other side, over here, and do that instead, which is not a bad idea, actually. I can move the hub and get that garbage out of the way, and I have a vast area that's already set up over here. I also have steel pipes and beams here on this first level being made. Concrete, and then I have these encased beams, cased industrial beams, which are also used for other things, the heavy modular frames, and then I have the quick wire production up top here. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is set up the manufacturers on this side and produce that stuff, because then I can just belt in everything from here. This one is going to be AI limiters, and I will feed power to it from this lovely pole. I have one left, yes. So I'm all powered up here. Hmm. What I could do is put computer production here and then do that, move that over to the other side. And I do not remember. Computers don't need quick wire, so I need cable, which is also above this alignment here. Screws, which is also, and plastic. So everything for computers is fine here. Heavy modular beams, so I need steel pipes and encased concrete beams. And those are over on the other side, I pointed out already. And then there's screws, which are on the opposite side and everything. So this is where I'm going to have to actually belt resources around because you simply can't have everything together unless you stack them all vertically. Then you have to belt them through some kind of belt stacking system. So the computers will work just fine here. So I will go ahead and set this alignment up as best I can around this terrain. So I know I've got AI limiters that are coming out of this machine right here. So let's just kind of move ourselves around and see what we got. So I can put... it moves up, okay. It doesn't really interfere with my belts. It did line, it's funny. It lines with that one, but it doesn't line up the others, okay. Why? Okay, plastic is gonna come around. I think what I'll do is take one of those machines, those plastic feeds out of the merger and have it only be for the computers, and I'll split that belt into two. And that will be, that's not going to produce enough. I'll have to put some crystals in there. But we'll see how it goes, because I might not need as much plastic for all of these circuit boards either. And we'll just have to see. But, oh dear, how is this going to line up? Ooh, that goes on top without it. That means I can hide it. Does this one hide? Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be... means that one does it as well. So this one can have an AI limiter. And... oh. Boom. 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 And let's put one next to you. We want at least two of these. I don't have enough heavy modular frames. Oh. Okay. That goes straight in. All right. So I'm going to bring this circuit board setup forward, and I'm going to split it into these two machines. But first, I need to make some heavy modular frames. All right. Let's see if I have everything I need to make that. I do not. I need this. I think I need pipes, and I need screws. What is this? Okay, and let's go get some screws here. Okay, let's grab 2,000 screws, and I think look at that, we can make 9. Let's just make 9 then, that way we have them. We're gonna need a manufacturer just making these heavy frames, but that's a whole nother setup. I have no more modular frames. That's going to be a problem probably. But let's see what we can do here. All right, 2 computers. And that aligns nicely. That's just nice. It's so nice to be able to cover this terrain. All right. So I need AI limiters. So I've got to split this off, and that might be a problem here. I think this might be too close. I can back this up more, but it's still too close. Because I need to split this here. So let's split this now. Let's just put a splitter. Okay. Put it relatively close here. And we'll do these manufacturers back down. And that is going to be in the way of belts, that terrain. I'm going to have to move it forward. Run that in, and this is going to have to go over and into the next one. Okay, please, 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 don't go up and down. Nice. Okay. Now I guess the way I'm going to feed this in is with a stackable. Let's test that. Yes. Now we have circuit boards, so we're going to have to split that. So we might as well split it, say, right here, so that they can just quickly go into each one of these. And I'll have to take this up over. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Yeah. So let's use this here. Is that lined up? No. That looks lined up. All right. I don't really know if I like that. I think what I'm going to do is take this, try to get, all right. I'm going to pull the belt out here just straight and just see where I'm at with this. So this one won't be in the way, but I think if I put it on this side, it'll be too, it's going to be too steep, I think. Oh, it isn't. This looks like crap. Do I care? I do. All right. So this will come down. That's good. And this one will go right into there, but it's just a bit off. So instead of here, it needs to be here. Hello. Lovely. Is that straight? Yes. So now we split. AI limiters. We have AI limiters going to both machines. Now this produces 5 per minute, which is fine. I need 2 in each machine. That'll be perfectly fine. So I'm going to also set up this one. I can't do anything about that. So So this will also go in here. So I'm feeding in those two, and then we'll feed. We're going to have to split the different things coming in here. Where am I? I am on the line here. Okay. Here. And here. All right. So all of our inputs are connected. We need power. So let's put another 6-pole. Right. Can I put it here? No, I can't. So let's put it here. Right there. So much space in between here, but that's what it is. Okay. That looks cool. Let's get our belts set up, and we're probably gonna have circuit boards coming out of here. Look at them flying out of there. And they will go right into there. This is set up to make the AI limiters. All right, great. So production is up and running, and we need to feed plastic, is it? Quick wire, yes, okay. And that needs to come from up here. So we're just going to take one quick wire here. And we're going to go above. So that'll connect up to here like this. Before I connect that, I want to make sure I have my other poles set up. If I can just get this to be in the right spot. Yes. And we'll take it up to, because we have to avoid the belts, and I'm not sure I can do that. So let's try to do that right here. There's it'll encroach on the splitters if I try to set the other, use the bottom level. There we go. All right. And it'll probably encroach if I try to go straight into that one here. Yep, okay. So we have to set up a stack here. I can't, I need concrete, okay. Grab this. Now, we're also gonna need other things. So I'm gonna take this into the top one. Let's upgrade. So that means we need another stackable. Yeah. I can't go into the other one, so. There we go. And we upgrade that one as well. And we're going to have to come down to here. And we need to be able to not be encroaching on this other machine. And boom. And because I'm coming out of the top here, I need to kind of leave some room for myself, so I'm going to go ahead and go... we'll go too high. That should leave enough room for another belt to come out of there. There we go. And let's go ahead and connect this belt here so that we have quick wire coming out of here. And in truth, this belt speed might be overkill, having 450 resources per minute coming out of here. You see the yellow quick wire coming down. And into the machine, and it starts making AI limiters. I need 18, so I need 90 per minute. So that means a Mark II belt, which is 120 resources per minute, would do the trick for this. So let's do that. I have enough of these resources. There we go. I'm not feeding a splitter where I need to break down the speed, so you need the fast speed in, and then it splits into 3 slower speeds. I probably do not need a fast belt here either, so we'll put that down. Alright. This now has AI limiters coming out. Look at that. And we're going to make computers. So now that I've turned it on or selected the resource, you can see it starts entering. This belt here isn't moving, but the resources are on it. So as soon as I pick computer, it fills up the circuit boards. So now our production is moving for there. AI limiters are coming in here as well. So we have... Oh, AI limiters are for supercomputers. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Don't need this. So I'm going to put these back into this machine here. And I got to take this off again. So I'm going to kill this. Ha ha ha. Joke's on me. Alright. I usually have a massive surplus of AI limiters when I'm doing this stuff. Okay. So I'll be belting that over to this other area where we're making the supercomputers. Cable's what I need to bring down. And I need to bring over. I have plastic, so I need to bring that, and then screws. So I have cables and screws I need to bring down. And I don't have more belts for that. But I do have this bottom level, for instance, right here. So I can still bring down a belt to here, this bottom level, and then I can take it forward to split it to whatever. That way. And then I have this belt I can bring down and go over another direction. So let's do that. Let's add this belt here. Oh no, I can't. That's right. I have to go up. And I can't actually do that. So I don't have enough belts here. So I'm going to have to create another stack, really. But I have one belt here. So I need to bring in screws. And what I have next to us is cable. So we're going to bring cable in on that one right there. And screws are over that away. So we're going to have to create another belt system to bring that stuff down this way, and it'll come in to that side. And again, because of the splitters automatically splitting to 3, I should set up a third manufacturer to make computers, just to go ahead and spread that out some more. Because I probably have enough circuit board manufacturing to make that happen. So what is this? Cable. So let's put a merger here, and the output goes that way. Oh dear. That is not gonna reach. What to do, what to do. So this is the belt here. What if I tried to come at it from the other side? So let's say I take this away. I'm just gonna say I put a just to try this out. Come down. Does this snap into place? Look at that, it does. So I can come in from the opposite side and still make that work. All right, so let's do that. Let's see if I can come at it. This container is too much in line with that, so I think I have to do it from this container. So we're going to do a merger, pointing with an output of there. We line that up, and can we get to this spot? Look at that. That is just amazing. So we need cable for computers, and we're going to split it into 3. So we're going to have to do a high-speed belt. And it'll probably work okay with a Mark III belt. And we don't need a merger here. We could just bring that in. And we have 3. Let's just use 3 here. All right. So let's upgrade these belts here to Mark IIIs. There we go. Now, where do we go from here? I think we can go... Now, we can't go over this because it's the same height as that. We can try to go up and over. With this. I don't think that's going to go up all the way there. Oh, it does. Look at that. Okay, so we can go over. So what we can do is go over this belt here, and then come around this side, and then enter this way for a splitter into using this as a center point. We can put down another manufacturer now. And I don't have enough cable. How ironic. Because that's the exact thing I'm bringing down. So let's go grab some cable right off the belt. A little closer. No. Ah. Well, these belts move you along. Let's get up here then. My grubby little hands going at it. Okay, that's enough. There we go. We make our third and final computer manufacturer with not enough computers. I gotta make computers. Okay. Another irony. Okay, I have enough circuit boards. I'm gonna need plastic. I've got screws, and I need something else. So to make manufacturers, I need computers, and that's what I'm trying to manufacture right now. So I'm gonna have to do this by hand. So let's go do that. And I do not remember what I need. Okay, I can make 2 now. I just need 1. There. Okay. So what I'll do is set this manufacturing. So because I need the computers for manufacturers, I need manufacturers are what are going to make our supercomputers as well. So I'll just wait till these 3 manufacturers make the computers I need, and then I can go ahead and siphon off that stuff for what I need for the other manufacturers. And there we go. Are we on platforms? Yeah, we need more here. Lovely. And computer. Select that computer, and I will power this up as well. All right. So I also need to take this across this belt here and feed that into this one. But I have another input right here that I need to make sure that I can still feed. So let's set up a stackable here and see if this will reach in and not collide anywhere. And we make it fine. Good. So that lines up as probably here. There we go. So now we're feeding circuit boards into all 3 manufacturers plus an AI, a single AI limiter production assembler. And we'll set this one up as well. Okay, and we'll feed these 3, set this up. This line here. All right. So these are ready to receive resources. Just like that. Oh dear. Okay, so these are all set up. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to bring down next. I'm going to need cable, which I have already set up, plastic screws. So let's do the cable. We need 12 per minute. Or 22.5 per minute, excuse me. So if we triple that, then that's 66 plus another 1.5. So that's 67.5 per minute. Total. So I need to be able to bring that down from up here at that rate. These belts, Mark III belts, are 270 resources per minute. That they can move at the same time, so that's not going to be a problem. But this could be a problem, because I only manufacture 15 per minute. So I have 3 of those that are being fed right now. So that means I'm doing 30 or 45 per minute, which is not enough. So I actually need 5 of these going at 15 per minute to exceed the amount that I need. 4 of these would be 60 a minute. So I only actually have 4 of these going set up completely. So I will feed this in here with this other merger just to be able to keep up with this. And I'm going to have to overclock them a little, a little bit. I'm just used to this stuttering that just randomly happens. I thought it was the game saving, doing the autosave. So I moved my I moved the game off of my Windows SSD drive, thinking that because it saves it to the Windows directory. So I thought that the game was stuttering because of that, saving to the same drive. It didn't help. So yeah, it's just one of those things to just accept that that's what it does right now. All right, so cable is ready to feed. And it's over there, and I'm bringing it out and over. So I need to bring this here. There we go. And I am Mark 3, not 9. Okay, we can take this next to here. Okay, so we need to set up a splitter. So I'm going to set up a first, just a single level high splitter here. I think that's going to... Let's get my inputs in a minute, okay? I think it's right here. Let's see if that goes. Invalid. So it's not straight, so I need to move it over just a little bit more. I'm probably right back where I was, alright. Nope. Okay. So let's pull this over so I can drop the belt height down a tiny bit. There we go. Comes down. Starting to look like the other factory I had before. Actually, this one, this is a better factory, and it's one of those learning experiences. You're building on the previous experiences, and it's good because I don't have all of this legacy stuff. I had a sort of like a factory thing I had set up before, and then I moved to another area and the same stuff, and then you know, I built a whole other factory setup, and then that was different, and so this is a better setup in that regard. I want to come out of here. Is that right? No. Okay. Don't think that is right. Yeah, it is. Okay. And I'm going to here. Upgrade that. Okay, now I have a problem. I have to get over this belt here. And there's no real reason for me to take this belt up. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down to the ground level so that I can pass over it much easier. Alright, so this is my lineup here, just to kind of make it look straight. And I have circuit boards in my inventory, that's fine. Alright, now I can come out here, but I am going to have other issues with other splitters. So those splitters are going to be on top of this splitter here. So I can set up these other stackables so that they can just go right on top of there. So I want to have this here. And I'll just in this case, this one's going to go straight ahead. What? Oh. Yep, gotta change this one too. Upgrade. So now we are Mark III's all around, including the feeder belt, which is probably plenty of speed. So our cable is set up now. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I need to run this to two different things. I'm going to have an encroachment issue here, and I am going to try to avoid that somehow. So I've got to figure out where my limits are with this. So if I want to run this, can I run this over? Yes. And I can run that to here as well. Alright, so if I stack up one more and I try to run it to here, it still works. And here it still works. Okay. Because I'm going to have to feed in another splitter on top of this. Two splitters here on top of that one we're looking at now. And that's going to feed the other inputs here. So I'm going to need one more here. And I'm going to need one more here. And what I'll do is have this one will go this way. This one will go this way. And what's going to happen is this one will go here, and this one will go here. Oops, I don't have enough resources. Gotta get more. People are actually watching. That's really good news. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, that's so nice that you're offering salt. But I have my own, thanks. I got no resources. They're being consumed. Here we go. And I don't need this one. Okay. Back to the belts. We'll just upgrade them now. Okay. Oh, wrong one. This high one will go to the farthest, so it has more distance, and they both work anyway. This doesn't matter. So the only thing missing right now is the splitters and the belts feeding the actual resources. What I'm going to do right now is take a break, and we'll see. We'll get everything going on as we go along when I come back. All right. See you in a bit.